Welcome to Stayf Draws. I'm Stefan de Groot, Dutch illustrator and animator, and I do drawing tutorials. This is part 3 in the series, Drawing Basics. You can find the playlist on my YouTube channel. In this video we're going to draw some animal faces based upon a circle. The only thing you need is a pencil and a piece of paper. Let's draw that first line. So first we're going to start out with drawing in the circle very lightly, because it's just the basic shape we need to draw the first face. And we're going to draw a face of an elephant, and he will be looking to the right, so we're going to draw in the guidelines. So you have a nice globe, and an elephant has a very big trunk, so we're first going to sketch in the big form of his trunk, like this. And the end of his trunk, so a little bit of a circle as well. And we're going to draw in the ears. And an elephant has very big ears, so we're just going to draw in the basic shape of the ear. On the right side, the ear will be a little bit smaller because it falls behind the basic shape of his head. We're going to draw in some cheeks, and those are circles as well. And on the right side, the cheek falls behind the trunk and the basic shape of his head. You only can see a little bit of his cheek. We're going to draw in the eyes, and this you can use the sketch of his cheek as a guideline. When you draw in eyes in 3/4 view, the left eye is a little bit bigger than the right eye. We're going to draw in the eyebrows. We're going to finish off the trunk, and the trunk has wrinkles. We're just going to draw in a few lines. We're going to draw the end of this trunk. It's a little hole in his nose. We're going to draw the top of his head, but we're going to give him a little bit of a bump. So you have a quite interesting shape of his head. Then we have to draw in the inside of his ears, and here it's a little bit wider, and we're going to draw in the rest of his head, and his head falls in front of his ears, the same as with the cheek. So you have to draw the cheek in front of his ear. And now we're going to finish off the right side of his ear, which is a little bit smaller because it falls behind the basic shape of his head. And the most difficult part of drawing an elephant is his mouth, because it falls behind his big trunk. So you first have to sketch in and see where the actual mouth is, and it's behind his trunk. So you only see a little bit of his mouth. We're going to draw in the lip and give him some hair on the top of his head. And there you have an elephant. The next animal we're going to draw is a cat. First sketch in the circle, and we let him look at the elephant. So draw in the guidelines so you know where he is looking at, and the basic shape of a cat is his ears, because they're quite pointy. So first sketching the ears. On the left side, the ear is a little bit smaller because it falls behind the basic shape of his head. And a cat is quite hairy, so we're going to draw in the cheeks, but a little bit more pointy. So first draw in the basic shape of his cheeks, and on the left side the cheeks are a little bit smaller, and you just have to find where the end of his right cheek is, and then draw in the left cheek. Now we're going to draw some hairs on the top of his head and draw in the hairs on his cheeks, just with a few lines. We're going to figure out where the eyes are going to be. So in a cat face, the eyes are a little bit wider apart, so we're not going to draw in a circle, but a little bit more of a cat eye, and just follow the guidelines, and then you can see where the eyes are going to be. I'm going to draw in some hairy eyebrows, and now we have to sketch in the basic shape of the nose, and that is a circle as well. And because it sticks out a little bit, his nose is a little bit more to the left. And then we're going to draw in his upper lip. That's in a very round forms, and give him some sharp teeth. And I'm going to draw in a smiley mouth, which falls behind his upper lip, and give him some whiskers. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There you have a cat. Well, let me think what we're going to draw next. Just first draw out a circle, or sketch in the circle, and we move the face is looking to the right. So drawing the guidelines that you have a nice globe. Now we're going to sketch a duck, and the most difficult part of sketching a duck is his beak, or his bill. And we just draw in the basic shape. It will get rounded off later on. And a bill is a little bit curved, so we draw in the curve, and you have the guidelines I just sketched, to see where it all goes. And nose holes, and we're going to draw an open mouth because the duck is smiling, and you always have to see where the end of his beak will be. So if you draw a curved line, just sketch in very lightly, just to get the guide where the end of his bill will be. I just found the end, and then you can sketch in the rest of his lower beak. And a duck doesn't have teeth, but we're going to draw in a triangle-like tongue. Just draw in some hairs on the top of his head, and we're not going to draw in the round eyes, but a little bit more of a cartoony eye. So he resembles a little bit of Donald Duck, but it's not Donald Duck, but when you draw in cartoony eyes, the first thing I do is draw in one eye, sketch it in, so to have a guide. So you know where you have to draw in the eyes, so they're always one eye apart. And the right eye is a little bit smaller because it is more to the right. And when you draw in eyes, the eye that's closest to you is always bigger. We let him look at the cat, so draw in the pupils. And his eyebrows. I'm going to draw in the rest of his head and his neck. When you're finished doing the light sketch, you can always enhance all the features by pressing a little bit harder and to get the definite lines in your drawing. I hope you liked this video. If you like it, you can give it a thumbs up, or you can subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Maybe I can answer the questions or make a new video about it. Drawing is fun. Just keep on drawing and see you next time. Doodles! Cheeks are also placed a little bit more to the right. And on the right side, the cheek is disappearing behind the basic shape of the head.